Alright, thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Brandon. This is Fox 5 Sports and we're going to get after it. Today we're going to talk about creatine monohydrate, its effects on the body when dieting or not dieting. I don't know why you wouldn't be dieting, you should be. And then we're also going to talk about my off-season training. Alright, let's get after it. Alright, so I used creatine monohydrate for about 12 weeks, and this was the entire time I dieted down into Muscle Mania. And I hear myths all the time like, oh, I get bloated on creatine monohydrate and all this stuff. When you're dieting and you're in a deficit, I did not notice 1 ounce of bloating from creatine monohydrate. Now, I took a little break from creatine monohydrate. I took about a 3 to 4 week break from it, and then I came back on it. And I'm eating like in a surplus, so I'm at about 400 grams to 450 grams of carbs a day. And I don't know if it's because of the grams of carbs I'm consuming or what it is exactly, but the bloat is definitely upon us. So I'm not going to go ahead and blame that on the creatine though, because I dieted down, like I said, all the way until the day of the show, and I didn't notice 1 ounce of bloating. So keep that in mind when you want to try creatine monohydrate. So there's a difference from what I'm talking about when I say bloating and like fullness, for example. So when I was dieting down, I did notice more of like a fuller look to my physique, and that's because the water was going into the muscle and whatnot. But now I'm noticing like almost like when you have too many grams of carbs a day and you kind of get bloated, or like a spillover, they would say. That's kind of what I'm noticing right now. So you can't really blame it on the creatine. The creatine's not going to make you bloated. Don't be afraid of creatine. Creatine monohydrate. So as most of you guys already know, I track my macros year round. Right now, my macros are around 450 grams of carbs. I just started tracking actually again today. So they're around 450 grams of carbs, 250 grams of protein, and then around 70 grams of fat. And going into the show, I was taking in maybe 150 grams of carbs a day, 300 grams of protein, and then around 30 grams of fat. And then even closer to the show, I dropped it down to like 25. So this is kind of a major surplus. I'm not as shredded as I was. I kind of miss that. But we're getting the job done. We're growing a little bit. So I think the biggest thing most of you guys need to remember is you got to kind of like earn the cut. You know, everybody wants to just diet down and have abs, but it doesn't really work like that. Like you have to take time and have an off season and grow a lot. The more muscle you have, the leaner you actually get when you diet down. So keep that in mind before you decide to take route into dieting down for something, a show or something, because that's not everything. It takes time. It takes time. So the reason being for me being in such a surplus, because I have a short amount of time until next show, or me thinking about doing another show. So I'm thinking about doing another show in November. So if that happens, I really only have like 8 more weeks of trying to grow, which is not a lot at all. If you're going to take like an off season, not a season, it should be, I think, a minimum of 6 months, minimum half a year. If you were serious about it, I'd take like 12 whole months of just in a surplus, slowly going up the entire time. But I mean, everybody's body's different. Some people can cut in 8 weeks, some people can grow in 8 weeks. I know my body takes a lot more than that. So we're just trying to cram everything into these 8 weeks and then start dieting down for the show if I decide to do it. If I don't, I'm going to try and just keep getting massive. You know what I mean? Come on, cameraman Jake.
Are we going to do this? We're going to have a staring contest?
So, I think a lot of people would be like, why are you competing so soon if you're not, what?
Nobody would be like that.
I think a lot of people would be like that. Okay, man, let's focus up. So, I think 2 or 3 people would be like, yo, why are you competing so soon? Because you just did a show in June. Now, the main reason I want to compete again, or have the urge to compete again, is because in 2017 I turned 23. Now when I turned 23, I'm no longer in the junior division. So I'm kind of with the big boys in Muscle Mania, and it's going to take me like years to try and get to their size. So with that being said, I want to do as many junior shows as possible and cram it all into these next 6-7 months of this year, and then think about what I'm gonna do after that. So yeah. All right, thanks for tuning in to Fox 5 Sports with Brunch with Brandon. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Brandon Flihan _the future. Check out my Facebook. Message me. Let me know if you have any ideas for me to film some new videos and whatnot. I don't even know if that sentence made sense. Did it? Karen Benjay said it made sense. So yeah, we're out.